All right. I'm first year PhD student, and my topic is the lexical semantics of English personality words in cross-linguistic perspective. And today I'm going to present just one explication, but I would like to give an overview of the field and sort of situate my explication within the current debates, I hope. So firstly, I would like to notice that currently this topic is mostly studied within psychology rather than linguistics, and I'm talking about meanings of personality words. There are, of course, exceptions of Uri Prisan work in linguistic picture of human, but mostly in this kind of Western mainstream approach, it is in psychology, and it's based on so-called lexical hypothesis. It is an assumption that any significant individual difference and personality trait should be encoded in natural language, presumably as one word. And it's a bit ironic that in this kind of original version of this hypothesis of 18th century, the word personality wasn't even used because it didn't have this meaning at that time. And in fact, there was a word character that was used instead. Kind of the development of this lexical hypothesis led to this assumption that actually it's true objective reality, which is reflected in everyday words. And there are, of course, opposition that mostly comes from cognitive psychology and cognitive research, especially the research that is focused on studying self and other perception and construction. And this kind of research attempts to demonstrate that, in fact, in this kind of everyday concept, everyday words, what's expected to be seen is simplified, kind of generalized representation that is mostly there to allow us some kind of orientation, predictability in this complex and uncertain environment, some kind of reason, cause relationship, and some kind of landmarks that we can use to interpret what's happening around us and what people are like. Now, I would like to show my explication of the word shy. As in Alena is a shy person, this emotion word. So Alena, that's me. Alena is someone like this, and this is the first part. When she is with other people, she does know these other people well. It's often like this. So this is our first kind of landmark, which kind of prototypical situation. The next one, Alena thinks something like this. If I say something now, maybe these people will think something bad about me because of it. If I do something now, maybe these people will think something bad about me because of it. I don't want this. Interestingly, it's always I scenario, first person scenario, and it's very interesting how it resonates with this cognitive psychology that also emphasizes that it's always our own cognition that we have direct access to. Then the feeling component, when Alena thinks like this, she feels something bad, not something very bad. And finally, a kind of behavioral part. Because of all of this, Alena doesn't say much when she's with other people. She doesn't do much when she's with other people. Now, I would like to stress that I'm not jumping to any conclusions. Rather, it's intriguing how some of these ideas resonate that what we can see in an explication. It's also always mentioned that the linguocognitive mechanisms of personality lexicon are actually poorly understood. And I believe that it's NSM research that can allow us to learn more about them and to see them as very complex combination of culture, cognition, language, meaning. And finally, I would like to point to some situation where we can see this power of explanation that these words can have. Unfortunately, most obviously we see them in some kind of ethnocentric myths, stereotypes, even some forms of discrimination. And perhaps, for example, in educational field, especially in second language teaching, there is a myth that there are certain students from certain countries that are shy, all of them. And I think that's where we can see this kind of prototypical situation of classroom, and then this kind of prototypical behavior. Someone doesn't talk much. And immediately this cultural keyword of shy comes as this explanation, as this connector, which is connected to all these important topics in Anglo culture, such as social anxiety, stress, nervousness, and so on. And especially, again, in education, lack of enjoyment. So I believe that as we go and as we unravel these, we can start seeing these kind of true mechanisms behind these words. And I would appreciate any comments and especially any critical comments because it's kind of the topic that I'm only starting to look at. Thank you.